Hello, my name is Caitlyn Cook, and I'm going to be speaking about social media as a modern-day tool. Before I begin, I would like to read you all a poem that I created about the influential role social media has had in our society. Technology. Tap, tap, scroll, scroll, click, click. Our world has been engrossed in technology. Everyone is constantly discussing the negative effects. Researchers and scientists say it has changed human psychology. But what about the positive changes from these objects? In the medical field, sick people can be treated. Doctors can have access to research and cures. Harmful viruses and bacteria are now easily defeated. Every antidote and treatment can be yours. Communication has been amplified. Businesses can speak with foreign lands. Sales and purchases are now worldwide. Every industry in the world is now able to expand. Safe work environments are now a possibility. Technological machines are doing the hard work. There are less stories on the news about the work-related disability. Harmful agriculture and industrial jobs are no longer like clockwork. There are new freedoms given to each individual. Knowledge is now accessible to all who have a Wi-Fi password. Technology isn't always so cynical. Thinking technology hasn't helped humans grow is absolutely absurd. Since its growth 20 years ago, social media has played an influential role in the effects that have occurred in society since it first began. To give a brief history, technology began to change rapidly at the start of the 20th century. In the 1940s, the first computer was created by a German pioneer named Konrad Zuse, which he named the Z1. Over the years, Zuse continued to create until he created the Z3, which became the standard for programmable digital computers. Since then, the development of these technologies has grown exponentially and eventually led to the creation of the internet in 1955. Now you may be wondering, what exactly is social media? Well, according to the dictionary, social media is defined as a form of electronic communication in which users are able to share information, ideas, personal messages, and other content such as videos. Some well-known social media classifications are blogs, social networking, virtual video games, content communications, and collaborative projects. All of these technologies were created with the same purpose, to provide a beneficial way of communication for society to engage in. Now, to better understand if society has undergone any changes since social media has become a norm, we must look at our society. Take a look at the research analysis polls that were taken and investigate the positive changes social media had. So let's first look at social media's influences on the improvements occurring in society. Because social media has become such a daily part of everyday life, areas such as small businesses, education, and healthcare services have changed the way humans now communicate with one another. For small businesses, the increasing usage of social media and the internet has had a beneficial impact on the success of small businesses, especially those in isolated areas. Social media became a tool for businesses to communicate with their customers, especially those who lived in other cities, states, and even countries. Social media demonstrated that internet usage can engage customers and influence their behaviors and feelings towards buying products. Now, let's look at education. For those pursuing an education, whether it be in high school, college, or graduate school, social media holds a great value as a teaching and learning tool. Many of the students in school for high school and college are millennials, and for millennials, social media has followed them as they have grown up. Because millennials have become accustomed to social media and understand how it works, they have been able to formulate ways to adapt media into new education tools. For today's medical students, for example, students have been using social media as a communication tool to enhance their learning careers. They have found that the use of social media in the classroom has helped create an open environment for them to facilitate their engagement, self-reflection, and have more of an active role in learning the material being taught in the classroom. Now, let's look at the healthcare industry. For those in this field of work, the increased access to internet and social networks has caused many different changes on healthcare services. The healthcare system has always been considered a trustworthy source of information to be given to the patient from healthcare professionals and physicians. Recently, professionals have found that patients are now depending on social media to diagnose themselves and seek treatment. This brought up the question, how do we bridge the gap between patient social media usage and websites such as WebMD where patients wrongly diagnose themselves? Now many healthcare organizations have created websites and social media platforms to build relationships with their patients and the public. The broad reach of social media helps healthcare professionals have discussions on healthcare-related topics. Physicians are now able to connect and answer questions for a large number of people online, which then helps patients understand their day-to-day issues. Now we have to take Now that we have taken a look at the positive influence social media has had on society, it is important that we acknowledge the negative effects. Since social media's growth, close to 80% of the U.S. population has a social networking app, making it understandable why the debate is so controversial. Like I stated earlier, social media is mostly used by millennials and the younger generations. With these statistics, there have been many studies that have shown the correlation between social media and academic performance. By creating an addictive and dependency-related nature, social media has caused students to lose focus in the classroom. The negative effects of social media have also been shown in various forms of art. In October 2011, Marshall Davis Jones performed a poem titled Touchscreen at the National Poetry Slam in Boston. In his piece, he discussed the changes society has undergone since social media became an everyday part of human life. In the poem, Jones used metaphors and raw emotion to show the consequences social media has had on human interaction, communication, and well-being. Another art form that has been used to describe the negative effects of social media is street art. Banksy, a famous street artist from Britain, created a piece of artwork depicting the harsh reality of the effects of technology on everyday people. In the piece titled Modern Lovers, Banksy is showing the difference between virtual reality and real life. By showing the differences between the two, he expresses the importance of enjoying the joys of life before it is too late. The last negative impact of social media that I would like to recognize is the effects it has had on human brains and behavior. As children use violent video games and are exposed to violent scenes on television, they become more violent towards their peers in certain settings. It is believed that there is an emotional pathway connected to what individuals are exposed to, especially children, since they have yet to learn the proper skills to control their feelings. It is important to note that social media was created with the purpose to help society and make life for humans easier in aspects such as communication. Society has begun monopolizing social media and reframing it in ways that have caused it to produce negative outcomes. Overusing social media, having a mental mind space of jealousy instead of appreciation, and using retouching tools for photographs are reasons behind why social media has negative effects on humans. While these negative effects are important to acknowledge, it is also important to remember the different beneficial ways social media has helped society in the last 20 years. For my study, I use various forms of methods to conduct my research. Through the articles I chose, there were interviews, charts, surveys, statistics, and the use of the humanities that helped prove the positive effects of social media on society. In the articles, Impact of Social Media on Small Businesses, shows social media's impact on healthcare services, and advancing social media in medical education, all the authors used charts and interviews to develop their research on the potential benefits of social media in the related fields. For my study, there were also several findings that were understood about the positive effects of social media on society. In all the documents, research found that the use of websites and social media sites helped create an awareness for the public. In relation to the article on medical education, the interviews with faculty and staff at the Canadian Federation of Medical Students show that the uses of these sites helped medical trainees share information and resources to enhance their classroom experiences. In conclusion, this research project attempted to address the positive effects social media had on improving people's lives by creating new tools for students in education, helping small businesses grow to the national level, and by creating a source of support for those dealing with health issues. While the negative effects of social media were also explained and acknowledged, this research suggests that social networking has limited social growth like some have claimed, but instead has not limited social growth like some have claimed, but instead has become a modern tool with many beneficial purposes. Thank you.